Dr. Vickers graduated from the University of Toronto, the National College of Naturopathic Medicine, and the Oregon College of Oriental Medicine.
Very good. So I'm going to talk about lupus and just some simple things that you can do. We hear that with the medicines there are a lot of side effects. So things that you can do to counteract the side effects that are safe, accessible, and hopefully effective. So I'm going to basically talk about 5 different things. Fish oil. We've heard a lot about fish oil. We've heard that it's good for our heart. We've heard that it's good for our brain. We've heard that we should just eat fish. But then we hear there's mercury in the fish and that there are pesticides in the fish and we shouldn't eat fish because there's too much contamination in the fish. So what do we do? It's a good question. So the 2 things that we're looking for in fish oil are the omega-3 fatty acids, eicosapentaenoic acid, EPA. So that's the main one that's used for decreasing inflammation in our body. And docehexaenoic acid, DHA, and that's the main one we think about in terms of nerves, right? In terms of the brain. So we know that there are omega-6 fatty acids. We hear, well, just take flax seeds, just, do flax oil, do evening primrose oil, because those omega-6 fatty acids also contain omega-3 fatty acids, the alpha-linoleic acid. And our body will just convert those to the EPA and to the DHA. But studies have shown that we're not, as humans, we're actually not very good converters of the omega-6, omega-3 into DHA and EPA. So I would say that we need to actually take fish oil or we need to eat the fish. So what they say is a portion, 2 to 3 servings of fish a week, and usually it's a cooked 3-ounce serving of fish. And next slide has how much per, whether it's cod, mackerel, tuna, salmon, caviar is the most, contains about 1.25 grams of EPA plus DHA a day. So usually we're looking for 1.5 grams of fish oil, EPA, DHA a day. So, it's doable with a fatty fish. So we can see that caviar in a 3-ounce serving has 5 grams, right, of EPA and DHA. Most of us are eating salmon. That's at the 1.5. So salmon actually is pretty plentiful here in the Northwest. It's easy to get. Costco has it all the time, and a serving of salmon 3 times a week gives you 1.5 grams of fish oil a day. So if you can eat, salmon, that's great. So you can look, there are many different things. So if you don't have access to fish, or you don't like fish, or you're sensitive to fish, then think about taking a fish oil supplement. And there are many. So there's been some controversy lately where there was a study that came out from England and it looked at over-the-counter fish oil supplements. And they said, is actually what's in the fish oil, what the label claims is in the fish oil, what's in the fish oil? Turned out that about 50% it was not true. So if you're going to do over-the-counter fish oil, you want to do a good brand. So you might want to talk to your doctor about what is a good brand. And what I would say about a good brand, I have no affiliation, is that one that's independently tested. So there are many in the Northwest that are independently tested. So what it says on the label has gone to an outside lab and been independently tested that, yes, actually what it says on the label is true. So places that you can get over the counter here, that would be Nordic Naturals, Carlson's, Eskimo 3. There are many brands here that are readily available. I think it's preferable to eat. I always think it's better to eat your nutrition rather than take it as a supplement. And we all know that most of you take a lot of supplements and it's hard. How do you take all those supplements? How do you make that medicine your food? Hard enough to take what you need to take, let alone adding something else in. But I do think that fish oil is important. Here's a study looking at fish oils and decreasing cardiovascular disease in patients with lupus. So we know that cardiovascular disease is prevalent in patients with lupus. And so in this study, they were looking at if you take fish oil, and they used different markers to see how do we decrease inflammation, and how do we decrease insulin sensitivity, insensitivity. And what they found was by taking 1,500 milligrams of EPA plus DHA a day actually decreased inflammatory markers, C-reactive protein, nitric oxide. So fish oil, I think it's good as a general. It usually is not contraindicated. Always check with your doctor first. I tried to pick things that were pretty unanimous and not contraindicated with any of the meds that you're on. Fish oil does thin the blood a little bit when you get up into the high doses, so if you're on a blood thinner, you need to talk to your doctor about that. Thank you.